Showtime Sean Porter. Please check out Jay Calderon Boxing Talk on YouTube. God bless you.
What's up, y'all? It's your boy, Jay Calderon, Stand Clear Entertainment, and we're about to get into this week's boxing talk. Saturday, June 9th. It's a big night of boxing in a doubleheader on 2 different networks. First, we're going to start off with the Showtime boxing card with the 154-pound junior middleweight division when WBC champion Jermell Charlo takes on Austin Trout, former world champion. Now, this fight, a lot of people are shaking their heads and saying, why is this fight taking place? Because Austin Trout has only fought 3 times in the last 2 years, and he has had 2 losses out of those 3 fights. Why is he getting the opportunity to fight for another world title? This is his 2nd title shot in the same amount of time. I tell you why. Al Heyman is his manager, and Al Heyman has always taken care of his fighters. You can't knock this man for doing the job that he does best, and that's making sure that his fighters get the most amount of money and the big opportunities to fight for a world title. And that's exactly what Al Heyman has done for this man. You know, Austin Trout is at the end of his career. He's a true warrior, but he's starting to fade badly. And this fight right here, we're going to perhaps see the last of Austin Trout because he's going up against a young, hungry lion in Jermell Charlo. His twin brother, Jermall, beat him about 2 years ago by a 12th round decision victory. Now, I think this fight is going to end in a knockout because we saw in the last big fight for a title shot against Jarrett Hurd, Austin Trout faded in that fight, and he got beat down by the bigger, stronger man in Jarrett Hurd. Now he's going up against Charlo, and Charlo's another big guy, strong, very young, very fast with his hand speed. You know, the Charlo brothers have improved so much throughout the years with their boxing skills, their technique, their punching power has improved, and these guys are very hungry to prove to the world that they're the best in their division. And this is a fight for Jermell Charlo to just make a statement, to go right through this man and finish off Austin Trout, perhaps around the 8th or 9th round. And then what's in store for him? Because this fight is not really proving anything. It's just another title defense for him to stay busy. I don't know why they couldn't fight a worthy, better opponent. But the fight that the fight fans truly want to see is the biggest fight in the 154-pound division, and that's against unified champion Jarrett Swift Hurd. That's the fight that we want to see. It's a very big matchup because it's a fight between 2 big, strong, hungry, young champions looking to unify 3 of the title belts in the 154-pound division. And that's the fight that should happen next, hopefully by the ending of this year. But I look forward to an easy, spectacular victory for young Charlo. Now, moving along to the main event of that Showtime card is the rematch between Abner and WBA featherweight champion Leo Santa Cruz. This was a matchup that took place about 2.5 years ago. It was a great fight, an excellent fight, one of the candidates for Fight of the Year, all action war, and I expect nothing different from this fight right here. Abner hasn't been that active ever since that 12th round decision loss to Santa Cruz. Mares has only fought once in 2016 and once in 2017. We know that he's working with Robert Garcia, an excellent trainer, and we hope that he looks much better in this fight. Can he make the proper adjustments to really shine in this fight and get that victory win? We don't know that yet. Abner, you know, he looked pretty good, pretty decent against lesser competition in his last 2 fights, but he's going up against a very determined champion in Leo Santa Cruz. He's had a very active schedule. He lost against Carl Frampton, but he learned from that fight because he made the proper adjustments in the rematch to beat Carl Frampton and to get right back on top as a 2-time featherweight champion. These guys are both great, excellent fighters. They won titles in 3 different weight divisions, from the bantamweight division to the super bantamweight division, and also in this 126-pound featherweight division. Now they're looking to do it again at the Staples Center where they had their first fight. It's going to be a very big crowd on hand. I wish I could be there because this is going to be an excellent fight, an all-out war. You know, Abner is a very good body puncher. He's going to have to box and he's going to have to go toe-to-toe because Leo Santa Cruz is a heavy volume puncher. This guy is a non-stop machine. He loves to throw a lot of punches. He has some boxing skills. He's a slightly taller fighter with the longer range. He's going to be using the jab to try to land that straight right hand and really try to throw Mares off his rhythm. But Mares is going to have to let off with the big left hook and try to work the body as well and let those hands go a lot more than he did in that first fight. Mares is going to have to be pushed to the limit and really extend himself to really try to outwork this man, which is very hard to do because, like I said, Leo Santa Cruz is just a nonstop machine. And when he gets going, you know, it's going to be a difficult fight for Abner Mares. Can Mares outbox Leo Santa Cruz the way Carl Frampton did in his first fight? You know, I think Cruz learned from those mistakes. I think he's a much better boxer. And I see this fight going 12 rounds, but I see Santa Cruz winning another 12th round decision victory over Abner Mares in this fight. But I can't wait for this fight because it's going to be a very good, entertaining, action-packed fight for the boxing fans. And a lot of boxing fans are going to really appreciate this fight. I like Team Mares. He has a great corner this time, but I really don't see him really pulling out victory against Santa Cruz, who's one of the best featherweights in the world today. You know, I love to see a matchup between Leo Santa Cruz and Gary Russell Jr. That's an excellent matchup that should happen, and hopefully Al Heyman will deliver that fight for us in the near future. But let's move on to the biggest fight of the evening, when two-division world champion and pound for pound the best fighter in the world, in my book, Terence "Bud" Crawford, moves up to his third weight class to take on WBO welterweight champion Jeff Horn from Australia. And this fight is taking place in Las Vegas, big fight town. You know, it's the big stage for both of these men. Jeff Horn is coming to the United States to defend that title against one of the best fighters in boxing today, and you got to give him a lot of respect and a lot of credit for doing so. He's a very good, strong, solid welterweight, and he's going to be the introduction to the 147-pound weight division for Bud Crawford. It's a good matchup to see, you know, Terence Crawford adjust to this weight because it's the first time fighting in the welterweight division, and this guy is a world champion. He proved his worth against Manny Pacquiao. A lot of people, including myself, underestimated this man. You know, even though I believe Manny Pacquiao did win that fight, it was a much tougher fight than what I expected. You know, it was an ugly fight, a lot of head clashes that happened in that fight, and he's gonna have his hands full with Terence Crawford, because Crawford, this guy could switch up his style. He could go orthodox, he could go southpaw. At any time in this fight, he has the faster hand speed of the two. He's the more athletic fighter, the better fighter on his feet, with quicker footwork, and he's a very smart fighter, an excellent ring IQ, and his ring generalship is superb. Terence Crawford is pound for pound the best fighter in the world. I know a lot of people feel that Vasily Lomachenko is the best because what he has accomplished in just a short amount of time, but I feel Terence Crawford, who's won titles in two-weight division, has faced better competition and is also a highly talented, skillful fighter. And I see this fight coming down to a grueling, ugly matchup that could possibly go 12 rounds, because Jeff Horn is a big guy. You know, he's a big, solid fighter. You know, I think he has a very good chin, and he has some decent punching power. He's not a big knockout puncher like a Keith Thurman or Errol Spence. We haven't seen yet if Terence Crawford could carry that punching power that he had in the lower weight classes to the welterweight division. But I'm very eager to see this man and his skills really break down Jeff Horn and take him apart round after round systematically, because I see Bud as the more skillful fighter that's going to win a 12th round decision in this fight and claim that WBO title. But once this fight is over and said and done, Terence Crawford will throw himself right in the mix of the top elite fighters in the welterweight division, right with Errol Spence, right with Keith Thurman, Sean Porter, and Danny Garcia are about to fight this year, and it's gonna be a loaded division with all these fighters in there, and I would just love to see each and one of these guys match up against each other, and it will have that same feeling like the 1980s when Sugar Ray Leonard, Tommy Hearns, Roberto Duran, Wilfredo Benitez, all these guys were top big names in the welterweight division, and these guys all fought each other. So I can't wait what's in store to see these guys face each other. A lot of people are going to be calling out for Terence Crawford versus Errol Spence, because Keith Thurman has been really out of the picture since claiming the throne after he beat Danny Garcia to unify the titles. He's already given up one of those titles that Sean Porter and Danny Garcia are going to fight for now. And now the man in the 147-pound weight division is Errol Spence. That's the one that everyone looks to as the king of the division. But until he beats Keith Thurman, I won't just hand him the throne as the welterweight king of the division. But the matchup that everyone is going to be talking about after this fight takes place is going to be Errol the Truth Spence versus Terence "Bud" Crawford. And that's a fight for pound supremacy as the best fighter in the world, and the road that Errol Spence is going to have to take to get that recognition as pound for pound best fighter in the world. But I can't wait for all these fights to take place. Like I said, I got Terence Crawford winning a 12th round decision against Jeff Horn in their fight. So look out for that fight. It's going to be on ESPN Plus. It's something that Top Rank is doing right now where you have to pay extra money to watch this on the ESPN app. I think it's nonsense. It's just people trying to make more money. You know, this fight should be on HBO or it should be on regular ESPN so that the boxing fans, the true boxing fans, will get to really enjoy this fight on a broader range. But that's my final fight analysis and predictions on the upcoming fights. So tune in to June 9th for this big night of boxing on Showtime and on ESPN Plus. I would like to thank everyone that tuned into this YouTube channel right here, J. Calderon Boxing Talk. Please subscribe to this YouTube channel. Hit that little red button. Put your email information in so you get all my notifications once I drop a new video. Also hit that like button. Hit that share button. Drop a comment. Follow me on Instagram, follow me on Twitter, and join the Facebook boxing group page, all under the same name, J. Calderon Boxing Talk. I'm J. Calderon, Stand Clear Entertainment. Thanks for your support, keep watching, and please subscribe.